is not the same.
Joining me now, Peter Navarro, the director of the White House National Trade Council. Peter, the White House is taking a lot of heat for this decision and this announcement. What is your response to the markets? The markets, they don't like this at all. I mean, you're looking at another big sell-off in our U.S. stock market today as a result of this.
We'll take the heat, but let's put a little light on the subject here. I think the smart money right now is buying this market for the very simple reason that Trump economic policies have resulted in the biggest economic boom that we've seen in decades. And it's a broad plan. We have a tax cut. We've got deregulation going on. We are unleashing our energy resources. And yes, we are dealing with unfair trade. We have the lowest tariffs in the world, the lowest non-tariff barriers. And what do we get for that? We get a $500 billion a year trade deficit, which is draining us dry, taking our jobs, putting them offshore, harming the workers of America, and driving down their wages.
You're hearing the auto manufacturers, you're hearing boat manufacturers, people who use these commodities. They're saying this is going to raise our prices, and as a result, it's going to raise prices at the end of the day to the consumer. It's going to hurt their industries. Wall Street Journal editorial board, Peter, I just want to get this out there. The editorial board does not like this, like the markets does not like this. They write Donald Trump made the biggest policy blunder of his presidency, and they point out a very important fact, that the steel makers employ about 140,000 in this country. The steel using industries in the U.S. employ about 6.5 million Americans. And the concern is that's who's going to get hit. Do you want
any pushback here, Sandra, or are you just going to read that editorial? Because I would really like to respond.
Tell me why.
Look, let me ask you a question. If you put a 10% tariff on aluminum, how much do you think that increases the price of a six-pack of beer? Do you have any idea?
You're going to tell me a penny.
1 cent. I'm going to tell you a penny. How much do you think it increases the price of an automobile if all the costs are passed through? $45. How much do you think it increases the cost of a 777 Dreamliner that costs $300 million? You know how much that is? Take a guess.
So why do you think that the auto manufacturers are getting this so wrong?
Well, look, they don't like this. Of course they don't like this. But what do? They spin the fake news. They put all this hyperbole out about massive price effects. The reality here is what President Trump said. We need an aluminum industry in this country. We need a steel industry. We need it for national security. We need it for economic security. We need it to employ manufacturing workers throughout our heartland. And this pushback here, I'm telling you, if you look at the problems here that they're saying, big price effects, negligible price effects, minimal price effects.
It was fascinating to hear the heads of those companies meeting with the president at the White House yesterday, AK Steel, U.S. Steel, and they said, we're not looking for a trade war here. We're not protectionists. They said we just want a level playing field, and we hear that, and we know that this president hears that. He tweeted this out this morning, Peter. We must protect our country and our workers. Our steel industry is in bad shape. If you don't have steel, you don't have a country. But you've got Republicans speaking out about this. Ben Sass, a Republican from Nebraska, says, make no mistake, if the president goes through with this, it will kill American jobs. That's what every trade war ultimately does. So much
Sandra, you're putting stuff out. Here's the reality. In 2016, the president ran against 16 other Republicans. All of them were opposed to his trade policies. They were all, quote, free traders who don't care about the American manufacturing worker. The president stood up for them. He ran on that. He got elected on it. There should be no surprise today that the president wants to impose modest tariffs on steel and aluminum to protect these industries. So this is what the debate needs to be. And all I ask, Sandra, is that it be done responsibly, that we have this debate and we don't go around with our hair on fire saying the sky is falling.
Quick question. I only have a few seconds left. Is Gary Cohn's future in jeopardy because of this? I mean, is he leaving the White House?
Gary, I was with Gary at a meeting with the president.
He didn't want this, to be clear.
Hang on. I was in a meeting with the president yesterday in the afternoon. Gary was in great spirits. We're working together on things like the 301 on China. We have vigorous debates in this White House. The president wants that, and all life is good. The stuff you hear about outside the perimeter on shows or in the newspaper, don't believe it. Hey, Gary can speak for himself. But I can tell you that Gary was in very good spirits yesterday. We have a great relationship.
All right. Peter Navarro, we very much thank you for coming on and trying to clear up what's going on here, because as you can see, the market's still selling off there, more than 300-point drop on the Dow. Peter, thank you.
Smart money's buying, Sandra.
Peter Navarro from the White House, thank you. We'll have more on this.